Well, Brian Timoney,
Paul Ramsey,
what a pleasure.
excellent.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say, and I'm hoping it involves Excel. Is it possible that
Oh,
I'm
Paul, you threw down the gauntlet last year when I used Google Sheets. So I went back to my first love, Excel VBA, and we are going to integrate that in ways that'll blow your mind.
well, good. There is only one true piece of software in this world.
Absolutely. The world's favorite database. I believe Postgres comes in a distant second. So
Indeed. So simplify, simplify, simplify.
yes,
Thoreau.
no JavaScript will be part of this presentation.
All
We
right.
have these incredible abilities. I'm starting my presentation now. Can you see the screen? Is everything good, Paul? Should I just?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, I can see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I was going to have do my presentation as a private conversation with Paul, but apparently we are ready to go. So, friends, Brian Timoney, live from Denver, Colorado. A brisk day, a bit overcast, but otherwise a pleasant day to talk Postgres, PostGIS, the power of mapping, and to invoke the 19th century American mystic Henry David Thoreau. Let us value simplicity today. And when I talk about simplicity, let's talk about the mapping stack. Let's talk about that word stack. It's gotten out of hand, folks. We have powerful tools to map the whole world, but guess what? We're limited human beings with limited intellect, and we have a limited interest and a limited geography. So if you don't need to map the whole world, stop using world scale tools to do even the basic mapping. So that is the push for today. And as I said, no JavaScript was implemented in the execution of the maps you will see in the next half hour. Thank you very much. Brian Timoney, data janitor. Data janitor. I do things to data. I do things with data. So with that, we can get a little more formal. I've worked with all the usual suspects, most of you have, and I've absorbed some unpleasant truths, three of which I'll share today. That'll form the tent poles of this presentation. You can reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. And if I seem cutting edge with that QR code, oh, fans, you are in for a treat because you will see more QR codes. So the background. No one likes your dashboards. No one likes your web maps. No one likes your Power BI. No one likes your Tableau. No one likes your ARC, AGOL, anywhere for anything, enterprise license. Everyone hates all of it. It's a big stack. Like I said on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, we're supposed to be helping people find needles in the haystack. And guess what we do? We provide a bigger haystack. Hey, check it out. Look at all this hay. Aren't you happy now? No, they're not happy. The execution and the way we hone in on answers for our clients leaves much to be desired. So I come at this with a posture of we need improvement. And by we, I mean everyone on this webcast. All right. So unpleasant truth number one. The single biggest use of web maps is to create screen captures that get inserted into PowerPoint presentations. So I found this slide from the Prince George County in Maryland. They're doing it with some drainage complaints. Anyway, you can barely see the map. Don't worry, don't worry. Even if you look at the slide full size, you can't see the map. You can't make head or tail of what's going on. So an unreadable map plus unreadable table, that's how government works in 2024. Like, let's all move on. So screen captures get inserted into PowerPoint, occasionally Word. So I'm not here to judge truths. I simply communicate them, and I will give you tools to help you cope. That's all I do here. And in case you think I'm engaging in hyperbole for comedic effect, this is an actual job ad that appeared on my radar 4 to 6 weeks ago. A senior business analyst in Denver, Colorado. Am I qualified? I don't know. Let's go to technical skill number 3. You need to know SQL. Why would I need to know SQL? Because you need to be able to query DB to get data to create screenshots. Never have I absorbed such raw honesty in a job ad. The whole point of your existence, if you're a SQL adept, is to query databases to make screenshots. So right there, it's all out there. And friends, make sure you take that JIRA class, and Oracle Forms. We'll pass over that in silence, of course. But this is a well-paying job, I imagine. So all your SQL skills are in the service of screenshots. Sorry, unpleasant truth number 1. So let's choropleth. Notice I didn't say choropleth. No L, choropleth. No heat map. No, this isn't the MySQL users meetup. No heat maps. No choropleth. No L, choropleth. Because last year's presentation, I did some hockey shot charts with combining the geometry, which we have long been able to express as SVG coordinates, plus Martin Davis, who will be presenting later today, his wonderful SVG library, or set of functions, better put, that packages up SVG elements into a usable document. Did I stutter? Usable document. Usability. We'll circle back to that. So I want to do choropleths. I don't want to do simple diagrams. I want to do choropleth maps that are so associated with GIS. I need a way to make data breaks. I need colors, and I need good colors, not bad colors, good colors. And I need a simple tool to drive it dynamically. Friends, you already know how that story is going to end. That's going to end with Excel. But we dug deep into the past of the CartoDB GitHub archives to get data breaks, functions, quantiles, janks, equal interval. Perfect, because I'm not going to write that. I steal, I acquire, I don't write. Color ramps, we use the wonderful Color Brewer 2.0 website, which you can download a list of color ramps, et cetera, et cetera. That keeps us on the straight and narrow of intellectually responsible perceptual color ramps. All right, folks, buckle up. We're 8 minutes in. I am going to inflict some SQL on you for the next 5 minutes. So let's go to application number 2 on the ramp. All right, friends, I have good intentions of putting this up in a GitHub repository. I have good intentions, but don't get caught up in what you're seeing today. What you need to absorb is this isn't super complicated. Like that's it. That's all we're doing. Create a map. So let's just start. Let's just start here. All right, let's just start here. We're going to get some splits. All this requires, look, okay, I want quantiles, and it gives me an array. Friends, all you need to do is know how to use an array. It gives me an array. Now I want to unnest that array, right? Because we want good rows. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Things are looking good. I have cuts, and I have numbers associated with those cuts. So let's build this out a little more. And again, bear with me. And let's see what this does. This is how I SQL, friends. I'm not saying. All right. So we have min, we have max, we have group numbers. You see where this is going. We now have ranges, friends. So we're slowly getting there, slowly. And again, this is the 5 minutes of SQL. It won't kill you. I'm just doing this to prove that it's not all ChatGPT all the way down. What? Okay, these are our features, our polygons. That's the min, that's the max. And oh, I'm taking this is the data value. So I'm like, just give me between, and look at the betwixt and between. I got features that are now associated with a color ramp. Is that cool? That's cool. All right, friends, it's getting close. So that's how we associate our features with a color ramp. And then everything below is just like Martin Davis SVG. And we're just going to tuck that color ramp value when we loop through our shapes, and maybe good things will happen. So dare we just run all this and see what happens? Friends, look at that. We get text that we can copy, and then we can figure out what monitor we're on. There we go. This is an SVG viewer, friends. Oh, friends, look at that. It outputted SVG. Look, they just mouse over. You get the name of the county. This is the percentage of under 18 residents under 18 in Colorado counties. County name, there's the value. Look, this is Park County, South Park. Yes, that's South Park, friends. The TV show, the creators of South Park came from this county, and they have a very low percentage of teenagers nowadays. Let that sink in. So we're creating SVG using just SQL. We got color brewer color ramps. We have quantiles, equal, interval, and Jenks at our disposal, courtesy of CartoDB. So far, so cool. A little bit cool. Let's go back and see what we can do to make this even cooler. Where are we at here? That was the SQL interlude. No more SQL for the rest of the presentation. All right. Unpleasant truth number 2. Just as Samuel Johnson said, patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. Arguing about colors and fonts is the last refuge of a troublesome client who has yet to pay the invoice. Friends, semi-technical clients, they don't know how the black box works, but they have opinions about colors and fonts. So the idea is we have this SVG document that we can create for them, and then they can go and do whatever with it. So, for instance, say our client's favorite graphics program is Microsoft Word. We can go into Word and we can take a SVG document and import the map document into Word, and we can work with the shapes, converts nicely to Microsoft Shapes. And look at this, friends. This is your client who hasn't paid their invoice. We need to make that red. They chose violence. But friends, you're just the provider of the original SVG document. If they want to do this all day to your beautiful color ramps, have at it and pay my invoice. So again, this flexibility of SVG to be used and edited in Word and PowerPoint, let alone Illustrator, Inkscape. And of course, when you print a PDF, the crispy vectors are preserved. So again, troublesome clients with fonts and colors, opinions, unpleasant truth number 2. We go back. So let's make this cool. Let's make this an API with PG feature serve. And again, Elizabeth gave a great introduction to that in the previous presentation. If you're watching on YouTube, go find that in the video roll, and that'll give you an excellent introduction. Because what can we do once we have that as an API? Well, we can. All right. This is troublesome. That isn't it. That's it. Sorry, folks. The Zoom toolbar is getting in my way. All right. So here's a map. We've pointed feature serve at a function that does exactly what the query we looked at, the SQL query, yet it accepts incoming parameters to make it dynamic. So, for instance, the color name, purple, blue, green, we can make that reds. And through the power of PG feature serve hitting that dynamic function, I now have instant color change of the map. Do I hear purples? Yes. Oh, purples with 2 S. Not so good. Purples with 1 S, even better. So friends, what you see is a very specific example of using PG feature serve to make a URL that can hit a function. The SQL uses the incoming parameters that you specified in the URL. And here's the key, friends. This is like, instead of items.json, which is the most usual request from PG feature serve, there's an undocumented feature that if you request items.svg, whatever content that comes back will be giving an SVG web header, and that's why it can appear in the browser automatically. So it's like the in and out secret menu. This is like choropleth maps, animal style, just like you like your French fries at In-N-Out Burger. So that's awesome. All right, that's pretty cool. But let's keep on feature serving. Where am I at? Where am I at? All right, this is the one of 2 diagrams. Here's the thing, because feature serve is, you can drive things in the database over HTTP, I can look at things in the browser, but friends, it's just HTTP. It's the most prosaic standard of information interchange, and I'm using this all locally. PG feature serve's running locally on my laptop right now. And I can use Excel using just basic HTTP calls to drive this process as well. So y'all want some Excel. All right, so we got that under 18, that Colorado County. Let's do yellow, green, blue. Let's just do 5 breaks. Let's do Jenks, PG Day, Madness. And let's, whoa, what happened? Oh, it made a map. It put a thumbnail in my Excel, and then it gave me a link to a larger map. Oh, friends, dynamic titles. I have all that same ability, mouse over, get the county name plus the value. I made a legend. Friends, I woke up at 6 a.m. to write SQL to make you a legend. That's how much I care about PostGIS Day, because I have a commitment to the data. Now, this color scheme also illustrates a problem. Given the color ramp, what is the optimum outline color? Is it white? Is it dark? Is it gray? That flummoxed me. So this one might not be awesome for that. for the outlines. I'm sure somebody with a cartographic background could help me out. I'll take your messages offline. All right, let's get back to it. But friends, you're like, Timoney, he's sitting in Denver. He's making maps of Colorado counties. And it looks like it's lat long, WGS 84. Like, this dude's like so basic, so local. Like, I don't need that in my life. Friends, we are global. We can go anywhere, anytime. Let's go to the land of Baudelaire. Let's go to the land of Balzac. Let's go to the land of the guy who wrote Madame Bovary, who I will think of in just a second. And this is the percentage, population percentage under 18. No, population change 1990 to 2008. 98 to 2008. Oh, friends, look at that. Beautiful map. And hello. There we go. So those are the departments of France. And again, mouse over, get your department names. And what's very interesting is the population growth right in the center of the country. Trends low, while the population growth around the coast and in the east trends a little higher. Smarter minds than me can interpret that. Can somebody please chat me who wrote Madame Bovary? Because I got a great anecdote about that guy, but his name's just escaping me at this point. Gustave Flaubert. All right, here's why Flaubert is the patron saint of geographers, friends. Because he once said he could lay in bed all day with a pile of provincial train schedules and just take trips in his mind and imagination all day. That is called the geographic imagination, friends. And that is a true Gustave Flaubert anecdote. Okay, that's bonus content. Let's move on with the presentation. So we can drive the process using wrong slide, using this. We can also, because it's just SVG traveling over HTTP, we can use other external engines. So there's a QuickChart.io that's an open source charting engine. It has a Docker container, which is running also on my laptop. And so now I can create charts using this Docker container, sending it a URL, and then getting SVG back. And the data is embedded in the URL. So what do we use? We use pgsql_http created by our host, Paul Ramsey. So that's my database, PostGIS database, talking to QuickChart and sending data and then getting a chart back. And then because it's SVG, I can just pipe it through PG feature serve and then back to my Excel spreadsheet. So you're like, no way, you're lying to me. I won't lie to you folks. Let's go to the chart and make a chart. There we go. So that just happened right now. And the request was made through a PostGIS PG feature serve function. And again, what this chart illustrates is the extreme skewed distribution of population by county. Friends, we have like 2 counties in Colorado with under 1,000 people. That does not make for great state government. All right, what's next? What's next? Back to my presentation. We need guardrails. Oh, the final unpleasant truth. Because I can hear the haters. I can hear the haters now. Brian, like, why do charting when people have Excel? They can chart themselves. Friends, when people are left to their own devices, they make pie charts, and they're usually bad and ugly. So you want to spoon feed them charts. The analogy I'm fond of is I would eat a whole lot more fruit if somebody cut it up for me and put it in a plastic tin. The cut fruit market is $300 million a year in the US. So the idea of spoon feeding your customer, that's what the customer wants. They don't want to pick their fruit. They don't want to peel their fruit. This idea of self-serve analytics is an illusion, a fantasy, if you will. All right, we have other people coming up. We're running short on time. What else do we have? We have one final trick in the book, friends. Can we make a QR code? So QuickChart has the ability to create QR codes dynamically on the fly. So if you hit this, and we're just going to feed it that, friends, if you hold your phone up to the screen right now and scan that QR code, it'll take you to the Crunchy Data webpage. That's not nothing. So that's the final parlor trick for today. So what's the value of this? The value of this is by decreasing your stack and using SVG as an output, you have a document that you can distribute. They can look at it in the browser. Friends, you can use it as an email attachment. They double click it, it pops up in their browser, instant map. No instructions. They don't have to figure out how the web map works. You know, PS, no one reads the instructions anyway. So let's dispense with instructions. And the shorter the distance between your SQL and the end user increases the value of what you have to communicate. And I will end on this, friends. It's not by accident that I've invoked a number of 19th century intellectual titans as we are here wrestling with our thoughts about the pace of technology. I would urge you to consider to take time out, not trying to keep up with the next thing or figuring out how AI will wreck our livelihoods, but go back to the wise masters, the fountain of wisdom, and the internal sources of your own creativity. Thank you very much.
Bravo. Thank you, Brian. Got one question from the peanut gallery. What if the map was a lot more complex with more layers, more styling? Would you still use SVG?
That's the age-old question, Paul. The effort versus the use case, right? Yeah. So could you stack SVG layers one on top of the other, right? So as those of us who've been around since the dawn of web mapping, once you start down that path, you start building a GIS in your browser that's every bit as complicated as the GIS you were trying to replace. And again, on my Excel spreadsheet, I had like 4 dropdowns you could choose from. And I had ideas for like another 5 dropdowns. And I'm like, you're defeating the whole purpose. Stop. Like, hey, on the fly reprojection, we can do that. So this is primarily gained. A lot of people do maps and charts, like quarterly updates on new data that's coming in or new census data. It's the routine things, and you have like the 11 different project files for your desktop GIS, and you have to figure out how everything's organized or not organized. So this is kind of that use case. So this is like a single serving goodness, Paul, with a variety of flavors, but a limited variety of flavors, and the colors will not conflict.
Right. One flavor per bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming and dropping the knowledge on us, Brian.
It's always a joy to be with the PostGIS Day crowd. You're the finest people in all of geospatial.
Thanks.